Alrighty, we're gonna go ahead and get started. Thank you guys for coming to the first Senate session of second semester. Very proud of your work last semester and excited to see what every single one of you accomplished this semester. Our guest speaker tonight is Chief Weedy from PUPD. Everybody give her a warm welcome, please. No, that's it. I don't start the meeting until after we go. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay, now I have lots of things here.
You don't have to. You can also use just the buttons on here if you want.
Okay. Like this. Wait,
Potentially?
what am I doing?
Let me see. Yeah, it's the right one.
Oh,
right and left.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. Hi, everybody. Thank you for having me here tonight. I am Leslie Weedy. I'm your Chief of Police for Purdue University Police Department. I have been on the department for 25 years, and I'm also a Purdue graduate. So my degree was in psychology, and then I did obtain a master's degree from the University of Phoenix a few years later. So once I started my career in law enforcement, was married and had a child, I couldn't really go back to school full time. So I did an online program through the University of Phoenix. And I'm happy to, as I go through this presentation, if you guys have questions, please feel free just to raise your hand or ask me a question, and we'll see where that takes us. Okay. And most of my presentation is there's a little bit about me, but then it's a lot about our department, what we do, some things like that. So whatever you feel like asking me, I will try to answer it to the best of my ability. Okay. So any questions to start before we get going? No? Okay. All right. Let's see here. Okay. So a little bit about me. I am married to another police officer. He works for the West Lafayette Police Department. He's a lieutenant. We've been married like 18 years. And we met at a bar fight at Harry's Chocolate Shop. Um, so that's a little bit about us. We only have one child. We have a daughter. She is a senior in high school this year, and so she is actually going to go to school in Wisconsin. So to a very small school in Wisconsin, and she's going to play basketball and major in forensics. So I've been in the community. Obviously, I came to Purdue and I never left. So I've been here ever since. I love the community. I love the campus life, college, and it makes me feel young. So hopefully I can keep it going for a while. My husband and I, we often go to the city council meetings for West Lafayette, since we do live in the city, live very close to campus. I'm literally like probably a couple blocks and I'd be on campus. I already told you about being a Purdue grad, master's degree. I also graduated from the Northwestern School of Police Staff and Command. I did I had to do that one online, and it was 22 weeks long. But it is one of the, along with that one, or the FBI Academy, National Academy, it's one of the high-profile command schools for law enforcement officials. I also completed a women's executive leadership course through Cornell. And then a little bit about my career. So obviously I started out as a law enforcement and officer, and I moved through the ranks. I obtained sergeant of patrol and lieutenant of patrol. So my heart is kind of in the patrol division. I spent most of my career overseeing patrol. Then I was promoted to captain of investigations. So I got to oversee our detective division, and I was also in charge of events on campus. So how many of you go to like football games, basketball games? Yeah, commencements, if you've ever gone to any of that, that was stuff that I oversaw during that time. Let's see. After captain of patrol, I became deputy chief, and then I was back in the patrol division and oversaw patrol, which is the largest division of our department and would be the largest division of most agencies, excluding sheriff's department, which is probably the jail would be the largest division. I used to be in charge of our student patrol program. Is anybody familiar with our PSSP program? You guys familiar with that? I was in charge of that for about 10 or 12 years, very long time ago. And now Captain Song Kang and Lieutenant Chris White oversee that. So that was always fun. I've been a trained negotiator, a field training officer, bike officer, believe it or not. To ride a bicycle as a law enforcement officer, you have to go through a certified program to be able to ride a bike. So, CIT, does anybody know what CIT is? Has anybody ever heard of that? So it stands for Crisis Intervention Team. And there's a many officers from every department in this county that are trained in CIT, and it's basically a week-long session where officers learn more about mental health issues, how to de-escalate situations, learning about what mental health issues are out there, medical illnesses that might mimic a mental health issue, things like that, and also understanding the resources in our community here to where we can help others get the right help that they need, okay? So if you do know of somebody and you're on campus or even off campus and you've got somebody struggling and you're afraid you don't know what to do, you can always call your local police agency and request a CIT officer to assist, okay? So there we go. Any questions so far? Thoughts? No? Okay. Okay. So I don't know, do you guys remember back in March, we were rated the safest campus? Thought that was pretty cool. And some of the factors that contributed to the safest campus, with things listed up here. Obviously, we have a police presence 24/7, 365. We are here all the time. So Christmas Day, you have police officers on your campus working. Spring break, we're working. Of course, we have a Safe Walk program. We have several crime prevention initiatives. ETSs. Does everybody know what the ETSs are? Every now and then I run across somebody who doesn't know what an ETS is, emergency telephone system. They're usually, most of them are the tall black boxes with the bright blue LED, you know? Okay, good. So I want to make sure you guys do know, if you ever needed to utilize an ETS, it rings in through 911 to our dispatch center. We have our own dispatch center on campus. And even if you can't say anything, the dispatcher knows exactly where you're at and will send an officer to that location to check. So we always go and check these. Most of the time, there's nobody there. I think the one that's probably utilized the most is the one at the Student Health Center because they close a certain time, and a lot of times people are going over there for assistance and they're closed. So they end up calling on the ETS that they need medical assistance. But just in case, if you ever did have to utilize it and you had to keep walking because you felt like maybe you were being followed, something wasn't right, you can go to the next one and press it, and we'll notice that pattern, and we'll be able to locate you and help you. So those are just a few more things. We've already talked about most of those. Okay. So our department is made up of these different divisions, and obviously I told you patrol is the largest division, 4 shifts. So we have 2 day shifts and 2 night shifts. And each one has approximately 6 to 7 officers with the lieutenant and sergeant patrol officers, 2 to 3 dispatchers on each shift. And then you have your administrative services, makes up your detective division, training, and CALIA. Special services, Captain Kang, if you guys are familiar with him, I know he gets out a lot, talks to a lot of students. He always likes to call himself Captain of Things because he deals with a lot of the things, uniform, equipment, vehicles, things like that, records, all that good stuff. And then on top of, we're authorized for 45 sworn officers. We're down 4 officers right now. And then dispatchers, so our civilians, we're down 1 dispatcher right now. But then on top of all of our employees, we have about 65 total, which includes the sworn and non-sworn personnel. Okay. So I'm sure some of you go to the football games or even basketball. You've probably seen our bomb squad. How many have seen our bomb squad out and about, the county bomb squad? Anybody? You guys seen them? Okay. So Purdue, we actually have 2 of our canine handlers have bomb dogs. And then one of my lieutenants is a technician for the bomb squad. We are part of the county bomb squad. We utilize them for almost every kind of event on campus or special dignitaries that come, whatever we need to do to sweep events and make them safe and secure. And that's just I think that's Mocha, Sergeant DeMello. And then we have 2 drug dogs. They are on night shift. And so how many have encountered our drug dogs or seen, sometimes they do presentations. A lot of times they might be in the residence halls if there's a call for marijuana or odor of marijuana, things like that. They'll utilize the drug dogs on traffic stops, things like that. Any questions so far? Yeah. Oh, So actually right now, I'll be honest, this one's a little slightly outdated because I actually have one of my bomb dogs on night shift because he got promoted. But typically the drug dogs, not the dog, but the handler. Yeah. But the handler with the drug dogs typically on nights because that's where we have the most calls for narcotics, odor marijuana, things like that. So that's why they are on night shift. Yep. Yeah, that's a good question. Any other questions on that? Yeah. So we break it up into jurisdictions. So Purdue Police, we monitor, we police all of what's considered Purdue University property. The West Lafayette City Police, they handle everything that's in the city limits. And obviously Purdue is in the city limits, but they have different areas that they police. But we work together a lot. Oh, possibly, but this is like our own little city here. You know, we have our own police department. You also have your own fire department, medics on campus, airport. I mean, where are we at? Almost to 60,000 students, not quite, but with students, grad students and everybody. Um, yeah, there's, I'll be honest, there's no way West Lafayette with their staffing could actually handle probably both entities. So if that makes sense, that's a good question. And I know it gets confusing too with jurisdictions of not understanding what Purdue Police does or monitors and then what West Lafayette does. But if you do call and it happens to be for West Lafayette Police, they'll get you to the right dispatch center. And also, if you guys didn't know this, the West Lafayette Dispatch Center is actually housed in our police department. But West Lafayette police officers have their own building in the city. So that's a good question. Any other question? Yeah.
Kind of building on what he just mentioned, how does PUPD and West Lafayette PD kind of work together? Even though I'm assuming you guys operate under different like laws and regulations and stuff.
The only difference might be that Purdue, we also have university policies that we can uphold as well. But otherwise, we uphold all the same laws. The only thing that we don't do that West Lafayette probably does is they have ordinances. Purdue Police does not uphold city ordinances. So if we get called somewhere on campus for a noise violation, we're not going to write you a citation for a noise ordinance violation because we can't enforce that. We can handle it in other ways. But the city, they can write you a citation for a noise ordinance violation. So does that answer your question? Yeah. Okay. That's a good one. Anybody else? No? Yeah.
Feel like your main jurisdiction obviously is campus and the university. Do you then have a lot of authority over university sanctioned disciplines and how that relates to the law, or is that something?
Yeah, we don't handle with the university discipline. Dean of Students deals with all that. Not that they haven't asked us maybe questions or seen case reports and things like that, but they handle their own discipline. We don't really have any input on how they handle that. Yeah, that's a really good question. Anybody else? I'll move on. Okay. Mhm. Okay. So here's some specialties that we're a part of. I have, well, it was 4 officers. I had one just retire like a week ago, that was on the SRT team. So I only have 3 on there now, but we do partner with WLPD with their SWAT team. So we are joined with them on that. But it is a WLPD SWAT team. So they handle all the training and everything, but I do have to pay for the officers' equipment, gear, things like that. And we currently have, not counting myself, we have 2 other negotiators on the department. I had one, but he actually moved away to be closer to family. So we did have 4. Now we're down to just the 3 of us. And we typically will get called out with the sheriff's department. If they have a SWAT call out, most of the time they will call out their negotiators to go on those calls with them. We have crime scene technicians. So we have any incident on campus, we can typically handle any type of crime scene needed. If we felt like it was something beyond our capability or we needed more assets to go along with that, we can always call ISP or WLPD, but usually I don't know that I can think of a time when we've probably called anybody else out to assist us. And then we have FTOs, field training officers. They are trained. They go through school and they're certified and trained to help train our brand new officers that come on the department. So there's a lot of training that goes into and involved in getting an officer ready to be solo patrol. So not only do they go through a whole FTO process, they also, if they haven't been, they have to go to the law enforcement academy. Has anybody had any of the programs that we've done? Has anybody gotten to do any, like the civilian active shooter training, the verbal de-escalation? Anybody seen any of those things? What'd you see? What'd you do? Oh, the fingerprinting. Yeah, we do a lot of fingerprinting for job applications and things like that. So we do that. But yeah, these are some of our programs and services. Lieutenant Sarah Clark does the majority of those at the top section. She's really awesome. The verbal de-escalation, if you're ever interested in that, on our website, there are dates and times that she hosts those, and they're online. That one's usually virtual. So if you ever think, hey, I'd like to take this, I've always gotten positive feedback about all of her presentations and how she interacts with everyone. So those are just a few things. A lot of our professors, instructors, and people like to take the CRACE, the Civilian Active Shooter Training, and she's also implemented a Stop the Bleed program with that as well. Yeah. Oh, it's Purdue Police. If you get on our website and then you can look for the programs, they'll all be on there. And then her email address is on there as well, that you could email her if you wanted one. Like as a group, if you guys wanted CRACE, if you wanted one of those trainings for your group, you can email her and she would do a presentation for you. Any other questions? So, yeah.
I did have a question, but I thought, okay. So would you ever come to like education students if they wanted to take the grades? Would like that be a possibility, or would we need a professor to ask first?
No, I think if there was someone who you knew how many maybe you wanted, like you had a group, you're able to reserve a room, or sometimes Lieutenant Clark can do that, or you can even come, sometimes she'll set it up where you can be at the police department. We have a large conference room for that. But no, if there's a large group of you that want to do it, you could always reach out to her and say, hey, we want to do this, and she'll help you work through the logistics of it and what needs to be done. Yep. Yeah. But it's a lot of times it's a professor or somebody else on campus reaching out for their group, or like the grounds department, different areas like that like to reach out. So it's a good question. Yeah. It's really great. People love it. People love it. So, okay. Anybody else? No. Okay. These are just some of the typical case reports that we often get involved in. So we have a lot of theft cases. Has anybody here had their bicycle stolen? Right. Yeah. Yeah. A lot of theft cases. A lot of times too, people leave backpacks laying around, laptops in the library. You go off to the bathroom or think you're going to go get food, you come back and it's gone. So theft is our biggest crime. We deal with harassment cases, intimidation, OWIs, public intox, minor consumption. But I would tell you the public intox and minor consumption cases are probably way, way lower than what you think. I can't remember the exact stats, but I know I've talked to Rebecca about those before. Occasionally we'll have a battery case, fraud. We do a lot of fraud. And obviously a lot of mental health calls and check well-beings. And occasionally drug law violations. Any questions on the type of cases or anything? Yeah.
Do you think that's the reason like Purdue has so many theft cases?
I'm sorry, what?
Do you think that's the reason why Purdue has so many theft cases, or something which can be done about it?
I think a lot of it, it's hard to say because just thinking about where sometimes they occur. I mean, the bicycles is a big one, and we have actually started a little while ago. We started trying to crack down on those a little bit. And we've actually recovered some bikes, and we've done a little bit more with that because with the scooters, bikes, skateboards, and all these things that are electronic now, motorized, the dollar amount's way higher. So it looks like we have a bigger problem than what we've probably had when over the years they've been semi close to the number of thefts and stuff that we've had. It's just hard to say because the bike thefts we usually break apart from the other thefts, like other property thefts. So a lot of times things do happen in the residence halls or in someone's room, or people leave stuff in a classroom. So, and they come back and it's gone. So it's kind of all over the place. And I think a lot of it's just, you have to be responsible for your belongings, unfortunately, but things do happen. And does anybody here live in the residence halls? Okay. So this is something that you should keep in mind. I always try to tell people, lock your doors, even if you're going down to take a shower, you're going downstairs, you think your roommate's in the room. I mean, make sure you guys have a plan about locking your door because it only takes one person to decide to go down another floor or might be visiting someone and just start knocking on doors or opening up doors to go in and hoping that there's nobody there and they can swipe a laptop, cash on your dresser, jewelry, medicines, whatever. That happens. So it's really important to treat it like your home. And I also would recommend if you have electronics, we do register laptops and bikes, but if you don't want to register them, I would write down the serial numbers somewhere like your TVs, any types of electronics, because if they get stolen, it's good to have a serial number so that we can enter it into the national database, because if we recover it, we'll be able to get it back to you. Okay. Actually, I had some better stats, so those were old ones, I was going to tell you. Does anybody have questions about these stats or anything, or do you guys care about stats? Because I can move on to something else. Some of it's boring. We'll move on. No? You want to hear it? Oh, okay. Well, okay. So let's see. In the end of 2024, for the total year, we had over 46,000 calls for service. So that was by the end of the year. We increased. Let's see, thefts. Yeah, thefts, burglary, robbery, all in one category was 504 cases. Frauds, looks like 54. They lumped the community policings and foot patrols in together, so it's not a very good stat. Let's see. Police department, we've even gone on, looks like 87 medical calls for the year. Traffic initiated OWIs. They've got over 5,000. We don't have 5,000 OWIs, but those are traffic initiated stops, and then many of them resulting in OWI arrests. But that's just traffic stops. Did you have a question? No? Oh, sorry. Okay. Yeah. Any other, do you guys have any specific questions, concerns about some of the calls we go on, things we deal with? Yeah. Anybody? Nothing? Yeah. Yeah. I would say there's some students. I don't feel like it's a lot of students. I think sometimes it's people passing through. It might depend on where the officer is at, where he or she initiated the stop. Sometimes it's on campus, and a lot of times it might be like Northwestern on the outskirts, to where it's more of just a local person that got stopped. Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah.
How much of your specific like making sure they know the rights and understanding differences and like maybe jargon like citation, how much of that?
Yeah. I can't speak with how every officer does it, but through training and everything, they should be I feel like we do educate a lot of our students. We have a pretty large international population. So that was always something that's important, to try to explain some of the driving laws and things that somebody might not be aware of, or how it should work or what you need to do. And this is why you need your driver's license with you, and explaining some of the Indiana state laws. So I feel like we do a lot of educating and explaining. Now, when you talk about somebody's rights, we have to notify somebody of their right. You have a right not to, if we say, hey, can I search your car? You can tell me no. You have a right to tell me no. Now, if I just called over a canine and the canine alerts to your car, you can't tell me no, because now I have PC to get into your car. It's just like the residence hall room. If we get called there for the odor of marijuana, the dog alerts on your room, we can ask you, hey, this is why we're here. This is what's occurred. Would you allow us to search? Or I can get a search warrant. But you can actually say, no, I want you to get the search warrant. Okay. And we'll decide if that's what we want to do. Well, it all comes down to, usually we get called there. Like, we're not just walking around the residence hall floors. I'm using that as an example. Usually we're getting called there because someone thinks they smell the odor of marijuana, and that's just the main one. Because it's the odor, so it's very distinguishable. We know, and sometimes we get there and that's not marijuana, it's burnt popcorn. Like, we've had a lot of different things. So obviously we're not going to do anything with that. We're leaving. But sometimes you get there and say we don't even have the dog, but we can smell the odor of marijuana in the hallway. Then we'll probably try to identify or pinpoint exactly where it's at. But I don't know who lives in those places. So for that situation, you might knock on the door and whoever's living there and explain the situation and how to go about it. And maybe while they have the door open, then you see marijuana sitting on their desk, right? So it kind of goes from there, which we could still get a search warrant. They could still say no, and we'll get a search warrant and go that route. And usually vehicles, you're stopping somebody for an infraction, like a traffic violation. And then a lot of times at night could spiral into an OWI investigation, or if the officer does smell the odor of marijuana in the car, or something else. Does that help? Or that's a lot of, yeah. Yeah. Monthly. Oh, it's hard. Yeah. It's not. Let me see if this one breaks it down. The drug. No, this one they had alcohol and drugs for 2024 was 123, so they combined it. Yeah, I do think it's on the lower side. Sometimes we get those calls for the odor, and the officer might get there and they don't smell anything, so it's, clearing the call and there's nothing that comes of it. Yeah. And a lot of times we've also had people call because they've taken edibles, and things like that have made them not feel good, and they think they're overdosing for whatever, just because they just start feeling very sick and weird. And so a lot of times, but the police may get called as well. Yeah. So I actually think they rolled through traffic stops and OWIRS. I think they rolled it in when they gave this to me. So it's not all that whole 5,000 is not OWI. Yeah. So I think if you've got thoughts, anything you think we should know where we can help or be of service to a group, help educate from our side of things, or let somebody know, hey, like the CRACE training, I get there can be a lot of fear out there, with the way the world is. It's kind of gone in the sewer, right? But I think if you can train yourself up and feel confident in your abilities and walk proud out there, you're going to feel like you can conquer the world and people won't bother you. But anything you've got, I'm happy to help, listen. Sometimes I can help. I may not always be able to help, but I got a lot of people in my department who have a lot of different skills, and expertise in things that they might work out really well for something you want to do.
Given the recent like happenings and going ons with like the Lifeline law, especially like the Indiana level, how does I guess PUPD like navigate the situations where the Lifeline law is at play?
Oh, well, we'll probably wait till it fully gets, huh? What'd you say? Oh, okay. Sorry. I mean, I've been following it. I've been talking to my administration about it just to make sure it's on their radar. And obviously, if it becomes the law changes, then we'll adhere to the law and we'll make sure we do. Usually around July, August, because all the new updates come out. New laws usually take place in July 1. We usually have updates from the prosecutor's office, and they'll do training with us as well. So I would imagine that will be something that will be there. Yep. Yeah.
Dealt with or arrested or as it were, are they typically sent to dealt with on like an administrative level, or are they dealt with on the police level?
So if Purdue police actually physically arrest someone, um, maybe say for public intox, we'll just use that as an example, we would arrest them and take them to the county jail. And so they not only, if it's a student, they not only might have the court system to deal with, but they may have the university side of discipline to deal with as well. It's possible to have both. Yeah. Now, a lot of times we get called to the dorms for maybe minor consumption, like alcohol poisoning. I'll tell you, most of the time the officers aren't writing minor consumption tickets. Once in a while they might, but a lot of times somebody has to go to the hospital, so officers feel like that's enough punishment in itself. So it usually turns into more of a discipline on the university side, residence halls, that kind of thing. Yeah. No, I really feel like we don't get called to the fraternities or sororities much for problems. I mean, maybe once in a while. But I do encourage, if you guys are having a party, I mean, we're not going to just show up and knock on your door for no reason. Okay. We are not doing that. We'd have to get a call for like, hey, keep the noise down. Or if somebody got hurt, that's when you need to understand that we're probably coming in there with the fire department because we have a right to come in and try to help someone. Okay. So that's where we would ask for your cooperation. And our focus is going to be on that individual. We're not walking through your whole house. We're not doing those things. That's not what we're there for. So I do encourage, I know if the Lifeline law gets passed, hopefully this will help people feel more at ease to call the police for help so that somebody doesn't, have some terrible consequence for not getting the help they need. Yeah. Yeah. It probably depends on what we're seeing. We're not we're probably there for a specific situation. If there's alcohol in a fraternity, we may not be there to deal with that specifically. If we see illegal drugs, that will probably be a different situation because it's in plain view. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, that's a really good question. No, if a student got arrested or cited by the West Lafayette Police, it's probably still going to be a university discipline issue, potentially, yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I know Purdue campus has like no guns on it at all. I'm curious what your opinion is on police officers having guns. Do you think it's like a useful tool, or do you think it's unnecessary?
No, I think it's a useful tool. Have I ever pulled my gun on anyone? No. But there's a reason for it. There's a reason why we have the whole gun belt and need for all those things. I know there is a House bill, I forget which bill it is. You guys might know the number, but there is someone trying to pass like so where you can have guns on campuses and a lot of places that are gun free go away. I can't remember the number. Which one? Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, because I just read on that one. But I think it just causes, I have a lot of opinions about that. So I'll just, yep. All right. That it? Yep. You're welcome.
One of them might be the clicker, one of them might be the, is that one yours? Yeah. All right, everybody thank Chief Weedy for coming. Yeah, you're good. Thank you, I appreciate it. Yep. At 7:53, I will now call this meeting to order. All right, we're gonna have Chief Justice Pranger swear in our new senators. So our new two liberal arts senators, as well as our new science senator, please come to the front of the room. Carlos? Okay. Oh, here.
Right. Okay. Volume check. We're good. All right. So you guys are going to repeat after me. Okay. All right. I, then say your name. On this 29th day of January 2025, swear to abide by and uphold the Constitution and the bylaws of the Purdue student government. I swear to conduct all legislative business with the utmost integrity and with the best interest of Purdue University and its student body as my main objectives. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Okay, first we'll get started with introduction of visitors. If you are a visitor, please state your name and please state who you're here with. So if it was the exponent, I would be like, I'm Olivia Mapes, I'm with the exponent. That includes all of our Senate Associate members and all of our guests from BOD, as well as Fast Track, if Fast Track is here tonight. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get started. Exponent, you wanna go first? BOD, you wanna go next? Sam, do you wanna go?
Hi, I'm Anna Heck. I'm a Senate Associate Member at the College of Ag, and I'm serving as proxy for Senator Martin.
Hi, I'm Chaitanya. I'm a SAM for the College of Science. I'm a Yara's SAM.
I'm Kelby Roberts. I'm a SAM for the College of Ag, and one of the bills is for me to be appointed as co-parliamentarian today.
Hi, I'm Alex. I'm a senator for Purdue, or senator association member for Purdue Indy, and I'm filling in for Jackson Minoru.
I'm Tatum Hodge. I'm a SAM for the College of Ag.
I'm Ria Sharma. I'm a SAM for the College of Health and Human Sciences. I'm with Senator Walker.
I'm Camila, and I'm for the College of Engineering, and I'm filling up for Yasin Ali.
Do we have any other visitors here tonight? Yes. Alrighty, all of our visitors? Okay. Now let me hear proxies. If you're a proxy, please state your name and say who you're proxying for. We have one proxy here tonight, correct?
I'm Anna Heck, and I'm proxying for Senator Martin.
All right. I will now take roll call. Senator Martin. Senator Kaufman. Senator Williams. Senator Wolf. Senator Blazek. Senator Garcia. Senator Ali.
Proxy.
Senator Grossman.
Here.
Senator Eamon.
Here.
Senator Muscarella. Senator Katagari. Senator Walker. Senator Hugh. Senator Halder.
Here.
Senator Rice. Senator Benford.
Here.
Senator Bestapali. Senator Munkholm, or Pro Tem Munkholm, sorry. Senator Lizicki, correct me. Leszewski, sorry, I'm gonna write that down. Interim Secretary, will you write that down, please? You got it?
Say it again.
Can you say it again? Perfect. Senator Abusada. Senator Poyer. Senator Hijas. Senator Ignacio. Senator Ramazami. Senator Koteka. Senator Bergen.
Here.
Senator Disabella. Senator Liu. Senator Ketcher. Senator Thompson.
Here.
Senator Kucera. Correct me if is it Kucera? Senator Hart.
Here.
Senator Seminaro. Senator Kalangari. Senator Shankar. Perfect. Roll call has concluded. We will now move into land acknowledgement. We acknowledge the traditional homelands of the indigenous people upon which Purdue University is built. We honor and appreciate the Potawatomi, Delaware, Miami, and Shawnee people who are the original indigenous caretakers. Now we'll move into the Pledge of Purpose. Senators, please rise. Our purpose is to be the voice of the Purdue student body, serve the needs of all students in all university matters, and provide leadership that stimulates initiative, inspires excellence, and exemplifies professionalism. And above all, hail Purdue. Okay. All right, the minutes were distributed by Pro Temp Monkholm, so that would have been the meeting prior to winter break. Are there any corrections to the minutes? If anybody remembers them. Okay, seeing none, the minutes are approved as distributed. Now moving into advisory reports, Brian.
Yes, just want to let everyone know there are a few grant deadlines coming up, specifically the equipment support grant, the One Community grant, and the community service grant, deadlines for which are February 28th, all three of them. So if you or any organizations you're in touch with are interested in receiving some equipment for their organization, doing something intercultural related to the international students at Purdue, or being involved in community service, please let them know, and you can get in touch with me or Martia for more details. Also, Dr. Martia King wanted me to reiterate, if anyone wants some assistance with legislation, whether creating or just having someone review or take a look at it, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. We'd be very happy to help you.
Now moving into executive reports. President Packard is still at the mortarboard dinner. Okay. Me. Updates. It passed the Senate yesterday. Now, Jason and I were on Fox 59 if anybody wants to watch it. We have been to the State House. Well, we've been down to Indy 3 times in the past 3 weeks, once a week, and we will be back down soon again. It's going to House Committee. We will be testifying there if anybody would like to come, and then it'll hit the House. It's going really well. And then it'll hit the governor's desk for the signing ceremony. Okay. Woo! Okay. Also, thank you to all that came. It was amazing. University Senate, I know a few of you have contacted me regarding getting your bills on the University Senate floor. You need to reach out to the steering committee. They are the ones that assign your bills to the committee and decide whether the bill will be heard. Liv has had success with that. So talk to Senator Williams if you're looking for advice regarding that. She CC'd like legitimately everybody, so I suggest that method.
Senator Rice has also had success with that.
Oh, perfect. Yay. Okay, good. Okay. Also, Senate Associate members, if you are looking to have a Senate Associate member or your Senate Associate member has left, reach out to me. And don't forget this, oh yeah, you're gonna need a new one. And don't forget this semester, make sure you're attending 1 BOD and 1 court. Okay, Chief of Staff, Eli / Elections Director / Interim Secretary.
So that's Deputy Chief of Staff and Treasurer.
Interim Treasurer. Paul's back now.
Paul's right there. Sorry, Paul. BOD is going very well, as you could see by everyone who is attending today. It's 25 points per person that came. So if you are here from BOD, send me a picture of you or meet me after the meeting so I can get you your points. Over winter break, Mallory, the Deputy Chief of Staff, stepped down from the position. So we're still looking for the next Deputy Chief of Staff. If you know anyone who would be interested in this position, reach out to me and I'll send them the application link. And I would say the biggest update is probably going to come from Shakina about Purdue Indianapolis Board of Directors and how strong they're going. So,
Yeah,
do you want to
Shakina,
say anything?
if you want to give your updates.
So, as Eli had said, basically, all committees have been formed over I was gonna say West Lafayette, oh my God, over in Indy, and the swearing in for all the executive directors is gonna be happening next Senate meeting. So yeah, pretty much BOD in Indy is solid. So yeah, that's great.
And then I also have, And then we have 3 bills going up today for swearing in, or yeah, swearing in new executive directors. One of them, Indian. Indian is not here, so it's up to the Senate to decide what to do. But yeah, he won't be here, but then the other 2 are here, and I guess I could speak on them whenever we get into informal discussion.
Pro Temp Monkholm?
Yeah, just a few updates. Mostly just communication things. I feel like I've been getting things like day of or day before Senate or caucus or whatever is going on with your standing committee meetings. Please try to get it to me a little bit before then because I can't really process proxy reports at like 5:30 before Senate. So just if you're a proxy here right now, please let your senator know right now that I'm reminding everyone about communication. Thank you guys for coming in attendance. I feel like has been a lot better these last couple of meetings, so that's good. But really, just tell me what's going on. Standing committee chairs, please keep giving me minutes for your meetings and updating me about what's going on, because then otherwise, I feel like I won't understand what's going on in your specific committees, and I won't be up to date because I only go to IA. So, and if you want me to come to your meetings, reach out. I'll come to any standing committee meetings as well. Thank you.
Treasurer Springer?
Can I go, Becca?
No, you were here. You were already fine.
Okay. Sorry, I was a couple minutes late. First of all, welcome back. How exciting. Spring semester. Woo! It's gonna be exciting. I have a good feeling about this semester. I don't know. I feel like we'll get a law passed, a lot of exciting stuff. President updates. We are starting a very cool new initiative. We're gonna build an AI advising tool. Officially ready to announce it. We have like 10 developers. Product might be ready in less than 2 months. Made great progress. It's going to change students' course planning. Very exciting stuff. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on at Purdue. RAs are trying to unionize, so we're involved with that. But yeah, it's a good time to be a Purdue student. Great time to be a member of Purdue student government. So I'm excited for the spring.
All right, Treasurer Springer, you were interrupted.
Don't have too many updates. As usual, keep spending money, check the budget. All of the Senate committees have money, so please do some outreach events. Find some way to spend that, please. We don't want to have money left over. Other thing is the SFAB guideline for next school year is coming up on Saturday night. All of the applications are due. We're going to start that process in a couple weeks once we do presentations and whatnot. And then additionally, SOGA period 3, we're working on review meetings for that. We had one last weekend. We did about half. We'll be finishing it up this coming weekend to get those decisions out as well.
Press Secretary Gonzalez?
Very excited that this Friday will be the first meeting of the PSG press team, which you might have seen over winter break. The applications go out. I'm excited. We have 3 extremely talented people. We will have a press relations director, an external press director, and an internal press. You may see their faces a lot at Senate meetings, board of directors, etc. And if you're doing something really cool, don't be surprised that they might hit you up, because we're going to really this semester be focused on making sure every bill, every event, like we are going to be covering every corner of PSG. So do not hesitate to reach out to me or any of them. That's really it.
Chief Justice Pranger?
All right. Hello, everyone. It's me again. So bit of updates because it was said before. Court this semester is in Rawls 1062. Still 6 to 8. I haven't made a sign up just yet. I've been briefing cases all day. I will make one, probably send it out by tonight. You want to sign up for a date, come by court, stuff like that. I've been working with Eli in elections committee, trying to attend election callouts, trying to make it a little bit smoother. I'm going to bring him in to court one of these weeks and go over election rules, the full election document with court, so the election cycle can go smoothly. Everyone's familiar with the rules. There's not as much confusion as past years. Just kind of streamline the process. And I am meeting with IA to talk about constitutional amendments potentially this tomorrow's Thursday on tomorrow. But yeah, that's about it from me. Oh, and that we're appointing. Well, I'm trying to confirm a new justice tonight. But that's about it from me.
ABTS Liaison Steves.
All good.
Senior Policy Advisor Kotaro could not make it tonight. Okay. Any additional executive reports? Seeing none, moving into committee reports. Senator Holler?
All right. Hi, guys. So, like we were saying last semester, we're doing a constitutional review, just like we did with the standing rules. It's officially begun. So, if you find some time and you want to read through the Constitution and you find anything that you think could be improved, Slack message me and let me know, and I'll put it into IA and we'll consider it. And then, when I was bored, I made a Senate OneDrive table of contents because there were a lot of documents and a lot of folders, and I was confused. So I pinned that in the Senate OneDrive folder. If anyone is new and confused, and it's open to editing, I'm pretty sure. So you guys can also go through it if you're older and edit or add the information.
Perfect. Senator Grossman? Oh, man. Hold up. You want me to exit out and try? Hold up. Let me try and leave and see. What? Do you want to just try and explain it? Yeah.
Yes. So the Financial Affairs Committee has given out more grants in the last month than we have in the entirety of the first semester. I attribute the success largely to the new Coffee Chat program. As you can see on the right, the red is the amount of, or the orange is the amount of money that we've had come as grant applications. I can't say approved. One grant got denied. We're working with them for them to reapply. And the $2 spent on Coffee Chat so far out of our 500 committee dollars. The graph that you can't really see in the middle is a graph of grant applications. So you can see a line go up, so it's going pretty good. And also the slope of the line is going up, so we're getting more grant applications faster. And just for fun, I calculated the cost per dollar given. It costs us about 2 cents to give a dollar to someone. And then I contrasted this with the American Red Cross dollar raised, which is about 15 cents. Also, as a ratio, the customer acquisition cost for a coffee chat is between $1 that we have to give to someone and $30 for them to grant, maybe up to 60 if you include grants that oh wow, I said I could give you a coffee chat, but I didn't necessarily actually schedule one, right? It was just a way to get the foot in the door. So yeah, please tell all of your friends to go and find a FA committee. We'll go and buy them a coffee.
Perfect. Yes.
What does the American Red Cross dollar mean? Like layman's terms?
Yeah, so cost per dollar raised is a way charities measure what it costs them to do advertising. So let's say you go and you send an email to someone, or you send a better example is a physical piece of mail. You send and each you I don't know 50. Then when you get the donations back, right? Someone comes back and gives you dollars, right? You get to divide that $1,000 over the for the $100 it would have been 50 cents. It would be $50. So 1,000 over 50 is how you get that cost per dollar raised. So for them, it's they're spending 10 cents to get a dollar. For us, it's we're spending 2 cents to give someone a dollar because that's our job.
Thanks.
Campus and Student Resource Affairs, Senator Rice.
All right. Hello, everyone. Not much to talk about today in terms of updates. We have a bill on the floor today that we reviewed. You can see our recommendation for the bill there. And we have a number of initiatives that are in different phases of workshopping. So if you have any interest about any of those, or there's something that's not up there that you want to see, come talk to anybody in CSRA.
University and Academic Affairs, Senator Poyer.
Hey everybody. So our main thing right now is we're looking at our outreach event for the semester. We're looking at maybe collaborating with CAPS, CCO, or the Office of Undergraduate Research with our big concern this semester being the availability and the publicization of research and of internships. So if you guys have any interest in that, come and talk to me.
All right, we'll now move into ad hoc updates. Senator Williams, do you have any updates regarding the Indiana Life Fund Law ad hoc or anybody on it?
As the Senate yesterday, so it's very exciting with an overwhelming majority, but now we're really trying to shift do with a lot of educational efforts. So obviously everyone can get involved about that. Jaden's been working really hard on some marketing materials, so we'll keep you all updated with that too.
Perfect. Senator Ramazami, food accessibility?
Yeah, so towards the end of the semester, I got to meet with someone who's leading efforts with development at Purdue West with PRF. And I also got to meet with some of the developmental people here at Purdue as well. And so our committee had pushed out a survey, and so I passed on all our findings to the PRF people. So they're in the process of trying to lock down a vendor, and every single time they get a lead, they don't really want to come out here. So showing student support and showing our statistics as a student body is really going to help them push the agenda of that students do want them here. So that's really helpful with that. Other than that, we're going to try and do some outreach events and collaborate across PSG.
Senator Isabella, disability ad hoc?
Yes, I think for the Disability Ad Hoc Committee that there's possibly going to be a meeting this Sunday at either 3:30 or 4. It's to be determined still, and the place is still needed to be figured out. But if you're interested, please let me know. Send me a message on Slack, send me an email, or talk to me after Senate if you're interested.
All right, we're going to now move into informal discussion. Do I hear any informal discussion on Bill 2501? Also, for all the confirmations tonight, now is the time to, ask them questions or, why they feel suited for the role, or ask those that know them why they feel that they are qualified for the roles. Okay, any informal discussion on Bill 2501? This is appointment of Arnav for strategic tech. Arnav, would you like to say anything regarding that? You're welcome to, or you don't have to. It's up to you.
I've already spoken during the caucus, but I'm willing to answer any more questions if anyone has them.
Perfect. Yep. Pro Tem Moncomb?
Yeah, I think we've covered most in caucus here, so I think we should be good to move on.
Any informal discussion on Bill 2502, 2503, 2504, or 2505? Yeah.
Can we hear Chief Justice Pranger speak about the appointment of the new justice, because she's not here today?
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry she couldn't make it. She's working tonight. But I am willing to speak on Rosalie's behalf. She's been very diligent as a clerk. She takes incredibly thorough notes. She's always engaged. She's always adding something to the discussion, willing to give perspective that we didn't have before. I feel like she'd be a great voice as a ninth justice on the court this semester and into the future. She's done a fantastic job. She's been super invested in court initiatives. She's gone to stuff when we have it. She's been really active, and I think she's a good fit for the role. But yeah, I can say more if needed, if you have any other further questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jacob, can you just elaborate on the situation with appointing this new justice? Like, did you lose a justice? Like, where's the reason for the appointment?
Yeah, I can do that. So one of our justices, Will Sheeran, he reached out to me in December, at tail end of November, beginning of December, and told me, hey, I'm taking on like a lot of stuff this semester. A lot of my other club roles are ramping up. And unfortunately, I probably will not be able to continue on court. And he resigned from his justice position. So I had to fill. We had applications for our ninth justice. Rosalie was selected by the rest of the 8 justices, and that's why she's being talked about today. But it wasn't like someone was removed; just someone stepped down because they had a lot of work on their plate.
All right, thank you.
Anything else? Okay. Do I hear any informed discussion on, wait, didn't we cover this in caucus too? Kelby's? Okay. Do I hear any informed discussion on Bill 2507? Now would be the time to ask questions. Yes.
Yep, I think this bill was extensively discussed in caucus. I plan to postpone it indefinitely, which will effectively kill the bill.
Okay. Do I hear any informed discussion on Resolution 2501? Okay. Seeing no additional informed discussion, we will now move into unfinished business. Okay. Do I hear any unfinished business? Seeing no unfinished business, moving into new business. Do I hear any new business? Yep.
I move to package bills 2501 through 2505 into a consent calendar.
Can I get a second?
Second.
It's been probably moved and seconded to package bills 2501 through 2505 into a consent calendar. This motion is amendable, not debatable, and requires a majority vote. Are there any objections to these bills being packaged into consent calendar A? Seeing no objections, we will proceed to a vote. Interim secretary should be dropping it in the chat. This is a vote on packaging the bills into a consent calendar.
Becca.
Oh, yep.
Clarification, this is a vote for those pieces of legislation to be put into a consent calendar, not a vote on the consent calendar.
Yes. Wait. Okay. All right, we're good. Consent calendar, motion to package.
We have 30 senators here.
It's okay. Once you hit majority, you can just go ahead and call
that's
it.
good.
Yeah. All right. Consent calendar. Well, motion to package bills 2501 through 2505 into consent calendar A passes. Okay. I will now entertain a motion to bring up consent calendar A. So now we're actually voting on consent calendar A. So we're voting on passing all these bills.
Move to bring up consent calendar A.
It has been probably moved and seconded to bring up consent calendar A. This is amendable, not debatable, and requires, or not amendable, debatable, requires a majority vote. We will now open up debate from senators. Do I hear any debate on consent calendar A? Hearing no debate, we will now move into a vote on consent calendar A. Okay. Consent calendar A passes. Do I hear any additional new business? Senator Grossman?
Point of order. Sorry.
Kelby? You need Kelby?
Yeah, I need Kelby. Very fortunately, we just voted on it. No. I can just say it. So, do you have to bring up a bill to table it? Yes. Yep. And also clarification for the rest of the Senate. Bill must be postponed indefinitely by someone who is not a author or a sponsor. So I would love for someone to do that. With that said, I move to bring up Bill 2505.
Can I get a second?
Second.
It has been probably moved and seconded to bring up Bill 2505, legislative 2507, increased towing sign clarity in West Lafayette. This is amendable and debatable and requires a majority vote. Yep.
I move to postpone Bill 2507 indefinitely.
Can I get a second? It has been properly moved and seconded to postpone Bill 2507 indefinitely. This is amendable and debatable? Not amendable nor debatable? Neither. This is non-amendable. It is debatable. This is non-amendable but debatable and requires a majority vote. Do I hear any debate? Seeing none, we will move into a vote on postponing this indefinitely. Interim Secretary is dropping it into the chat. Kelby. Is it a gavel tap if it's being postponed indefinitely and it passes? Yes. Okay. The motion to postpone the bill indefinitely passes. All right. Do I hear any additional new business?
Move to bring resolution 2501.
Has been properly moved and seconded to bring up Resolution 2505, return to United Commencement Ceremonies. This is amendable and debatable and requires a majority vote. We will now open up debate from senators. Yes.
I think this is like generally agreeable. I just kind of feel a bit like we're delaying the inevitable with like Purdue's growth. Eventually, it will have to be split. I don't know. I'm in engineering, so it's already split. So I don't know if I can have like a good perspective on this.
Senator Williams.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that, especially as Purdue's growing. We talked about this in caucus, but this was a specific request made by the Dean of the College of Agriculture for us to bring up. So we're kind of just fulfilling that duty with that. And I agree that it might be inevitable, but for now, this just puts the student's voice to the administration, along with administrators who are trying to make sure that we prioritize keeping people united as much as we can.
Oh,
You have a question. So you said it's best of agriculture.
No. Oh, one of you. Either I. Whoever wants to answer it.
So this is something that is actually not determined by deans specifically or like colleges in specific. This is something that's done by the Office of Enrollment Management. They're the ones who kind of host and deal with commencement ceremonies. So this would be basically urging them to prioritize, like it says up there, prioritize the unity of colleges as has been common practice.
Pro Tem Moncomb.
Yeah, on my like eighth reread of this legislation, and whereas clause 3, a little confused on the wording with the College of Agriculture and College of Science. I feel like for a first or second time reader, that can read as those two ceremonies are unified versus like those particular ceremonies are being separated. Do you know what I mean, Jaden and or Senator Kaufman? So, and whereas clause 3, it states certain colleges, particularly the College of Ag and College of Science, have historically held unified commencement ceremonies. That sounds like those two colleges have held commencement ceremonies together. If you read that the way I just read it. Or I guess it says ceremonies, so maybe I'm reading it wrong. But I'm just trying to confirm that your wording's right there.
I move to amend resolution 2501 in the third whereas clause by inserting individually unified ceremonies to make sure that that's clear.
Can I get a second? It's been probably moved and seconded to amend Resolution 2501 by Liv. You want to repeat?
Inserting the word individually before unified to improve.
Yep. This is amendable and debatable and requires a majority vote. We will now open up debate from senators regarding the amendment. Any debate? Yep. New senators? Can we get them in the chat, please? We have Senator Hart. We have, who else is here? Perfect. Do you want to show Eli? Because you guys are going to have to get in the Slack. If you guys want to go over to Eli, or Eli come over to you, that would be great. Are you guys in the Slack? Here, let's go to the Slack. Is the QR still active? Pro Tem Moncomb, can you email them the Slack link?
Yes, please. If you don't,
You guys would just vote verbally today, but
yeah, point of order again. I'll go back to my announcement about communication. If you don't have something, please tell me, and I can get it done.
okay. All right, do I hear any debate on the amendment? Okay. Seeing no debate, we'll move into a vote on the amendment to the main motion. Vote via the Slack that interim secretary is dropping in the chat. The main motion has been amended. Okay, do I hear any debate on the main motion as amended? Yes.
Yeah, so I think that this bill is really well intentioned and it's reasonably well written and it comes from a college meeting, so that's great. I do that the way the therefore clause is currently worded does, as the author of the other commencement ceremony bill earlier this year or in this Senate session, I feel like the lack of specification that VAG and the College of Science are like unified ceremonies that should be targeted actually could be a detriment to the College of Engineering, as a even longer College of Engineering ceremony, a more unified ceremony, would be not a benefit for the students. But that's just the way I see it, and I think maybe the definition of unified ceremony is not properly laid out. I also think maybe it could have a amendment that would specify the College of Ag and the College of Engineering. But yeah, again, that's just how I see it.
Yep.
I think the point of the resolution, as it says in the first area of the therefore clause, it says that it be taken into consideration in the planning. I don't think anyone is suggesting that the entire College of Engineering be fit in one ceremony, because that would be 5 hours long. So I think this is just for when having a unified ceremony is possible and feasible. I don't think anyone would consider the entirety of the engineering college graduating at once to be feasible or enjoyable for anybody there.
Do I hear any other debate? Seeing none, we will move into a vote on the main motion as amended. Please vote via the new poll. Thank you, thank you. And we're voting on the main motion as amended. And then my two new senators, you guys can vote verbally, but once we have majority, I can call it. But do you guys support this, or
You should have both just got an email from me.
Senator Hart, are you in support of this? Perfect. All right. The main motion as amended passes. All right. Do I hear any additional new business? Seeing none, we will move into announcements. Do I hear any announcements? Anybody can like shout out their clubs during this time. Wait. Oh, perfect. A great announcement. Yes, Jason? Oh, I thought you were getting ready to hit the button.
Okay. Oh, am I on? Okay. I'm curious, how many of the senators are rerunning for their seats? Okay, that's good. If you want to be a senator next year, make sure you rerun, because Eli and soon to be the cabinet are going to advertise Senate a lot. And we're going to try to recruit people to run. And we want people to run for seats. We don't want 90% of the Senate seats to be appointed. I don't know what the number was this year, but it was a lot. And we want people to run for their Senate seats. So make sure you run.
Pro Tem Uncle?
And wait, in order to run, you need to attend one of the call outs. So please attend one of the call outs. And also, Jason, please don't ask them if they're going to run. That's private. Yeah, no, it's okay.
Pro Tem Uncle?
But I will say, don't let that dissuade you from running. You all have like a year's worth of experience than everyone else in the student body, so your qualification for being a senator or for being in PSG is a lot higher than a lot of people out there. So that shouldn't dissuade you that more people are going to run. We're just trying to grow the org.
Yes, I second that. Please, please, please run. Do I hear any other announcements? Oh, yes, Press Secretary Gonzalez.
This is also a heads up that the next Boilermaker briefing should be going out on Friday and kind of reiterating what was said by other members of cabinet about like DCOS and secretary. Those applications will once again be kind of pushed out. So if you know anybody who would be qualified, maybe kind of nudge them toward it because we would love to have them.
Or if you guys want to apply for DCOS or secretary. Yep.
Just something not Senate related, absolutely whatsoever, but it's super fun. Ag Week is officially March 31st through April 4th. Put on your calendars. Everybody better be there. It's so fun. There'll be a whole party all week long. Be there.
Memorial Mall. Memorial Mall.
On Memorial Mall.
Okay. Any other announcements? Seeing no further announcements, we will move into Senate snaps. Do I hear any Senate snaps? Yes. Yep.
Senate snaps for the new senators.
Yeah, and also, if any of the new senators, I know this is incredibly overwhelming, please come speak to me at the end if you are overwhelmed. And also, pro tip, Montcalm and I can meet with you and just kind of like walk you through all of this. Yes.
Senate snaps for our new co-parliamentarian Kelby for already rocking it for Senate session.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Everybody refer to Kelby for anything probably pro related. Yes.
One side effect of doing a lot of grants and leads to that treasurer has to always becoming involved with that.
For Springer. Yes.
Senate snap. Whatever title Eli is going by at any point in time, because he has like 7 of them. So, for all your help, interim secretary.
Thank you, Eli, for being the backbone of PSG.
We should probably find a new secretary. I'm not very good at it. And then I gotta add like all the votes to the document. And Rebecca or Owen's gonna.
Yeah, also the senators in the slag. Do I hear any other Senate snaps? Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I was about to jump onto the Indiana Senate floor yesterday, but it didn't happen. It did not happen, but yeah. I was about to throw hands, but it's okay. We're good. Oh yeah, he certainly was. All right. Hearing no further Senate snaps, I will now entertain a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Got a second? It's been probably motioned and seconded to adjourn this meeting. It is not amendable nor debatable and requires a 2/3 majority vote. Say aye. All right, the meeting is now adjourned.